Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, and may His peace and blessings be upon His last messenger Muhammad, and upon all those who follow the path of righteousness until the last day. We welcome you once again, dear viewers, to another episode on the Hereafter. Another in a series of Islamic programs presented to you by Sharjah Satellite Television from Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. In our last episode, we were talking about one incident. We were talking about some of the reasons for evil ending, and talking about insistence on sinning. And we were talking about one incident, a story one scholar was telling about something he had experienced himself. And he was saying that they went to visit an elderly man who was dying. And so they went to the house, came to the house and went in. And the household, all the people in the house, they were listening to loud Kulthum music. Kulthum is a famous Arabic singer. So this man this elderly man, he was in the last moments of his life. And the stereo, or tape recorder, what have you, was to the highest volume, listening to songs of Kulthum, listening to these music and songs, what have you. And so the Sheikh, he came in to the house and he told the people, fear Allah. This man is dying and you're listening to songs. The Sheikh, he came in, the people of the household, they're listening to loud music, and this man is in his last moments, he's in his deathbed. So the Sheikh said, fear Allah. This man, he's dying, and you're listening to loud music. What are you doing? Fear Allah. So they took out the tape. The people, they turned it off, they took out the tape, and they put on a tape of Qur'an instead. When this old man, he started to hear Qur'an being played, he said, turn it off. Turn it off and put Kulthum back, because she soothes my heart. So the people, they took off this Kulthum, they put on Qur'an. When the man started hearing Qur'an, he said, turn it off. Turn it off and put back Kulthum, because she soothes my heart. And shortly after this, he died. This was the condition. That maybe throughout his life listening so much, but this is what was soothing to his heart. This music instead of Qur'an. The music was more soothing to him than the Qur'an. This was the condition, and this was the condition that he died in. So when you grow up on something, most likely the conclusion of your life will be on that thing that you are doing. So if we're insisting on sinning, and we're sinning throughout our life, this will be a means of an evil ending. And as we mentioned, the ulama say that insistence on sinning, on a minor sin, makes it a major sin. And when we grow up on something, then most likely the conclusion of our life will be on that thing. So we have to be careful how we are living our lives. Even if it's a small, we talked about diverting from the straight path, and defects in the faith and what have you. It can be a small defect, a small diversion, a minor sin. But when we grow up on these things, and we insist on these things, and we continue these things throughout our lives, then most likely the conclusion of our life will be on those things that we were doing throughout our life. So we should never think that we can outsmart Allah. As we mentioned last time, some people think that I'm young, I'll do as I want, I live life as I want. When I become older, I'll make tawbah, I'll say La ilaha illallah, I'll start praying, what have you, and then everything will be okay. No. There's no shortcuts in Islam. There's no outsmarting Allah. There's no plotting and planning against Allah. Allah says these people, they plot and plan, and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. So there's no outsmarting, there's no shortcut or quick way, quick route around it. So we should never think that we can somehow outsmart Allah. That we have to have the khashiyah, the fear of Allah. The ones who feel safe, the ones who feel secure from the punishment of Allah are the losers. The losers. These are the people who feel safe and secure from the punishment of Allah. They feel safe, secure, it won't touch me, I'm okay. The people who feel this are the losers. Allah says, only the losers are the ones who feel secure from the punishment of Allah. Allah described the Dusis, this is one of their qualities, that they feel secure from the punishment of Allah. We should not feel secure. We can make mistakes, and if we make mistakes, if we do something wrong, we will be punished. Khashiyah is an integral quality of the Muslim. To be a mu'min, to be a believer, you have to have khashiyah, you have to have fear of Allah in your heart. This is a must. You have to have this fear of Allah in your heart. The fourth reason that we will talk about for an evil ending is weak iman, weak faith. That weak iman, weak faith, this is a reason for an evil ending. Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik, the Khalifa of the Muslim world, he visited Mecca and Medina. And so he was asking, when he was there visiting, he asked, is there anyone here who has met the companions of the Prophet, may God's peace and blessings be upon him? And they said, yes, Abu Hazm, he is here and he's alive, and he had met the companions of the Prophet. He had spoken and met with the companions of the Prophet, may God's peace and blessings be upon him. So he said, call him, bring him, I want to speak with him. So they brought Abu Hazm, and Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik, he asked him a question. He asked him, he said, how come we dislike death? He called Abu Hazm and he asked him, how come we dislike death? And so he said, because you have built and established this world and you have destroyed your akhirah. Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik, he called this man who had met the Sahaba, Abu Hazm, and he asked him, how come we dislike death? His reply was, because you have built and established this world and you have destroyed your akhirah. So you hate to go from what is established to what is destroyed. So this is a natural consequence. You have built for yourself a good life in this world, and you have established yourself a good and pleasurable life and pleasant life in this world, but you've destroyed your hereafter. So of course a person will not want to go from what they've to what they have destroyed. You destroyed your hereafter, you didn't do anything for it. You didn't work for it, you didn't build it, you left it, you didn't do anything to build it. You ignored it, you just left it. And so this type of person will fear death, will hate death, because they don't want to go from what they've established to what they have destroyed. They have spent their life establishing this world, and establishing everything, and building up this world, and establishing it, and in the process, because they have ignored the hereafter, they've destroyed the hereafter. So you don't want to go from what you have established to what you have destroyed. It's a natural consequence. It's a natural result. If you're not preparing for akhirah, why would you want to go there? If a person is not thinking about akhirah, he's not preparing for akhirah, he doesn't care about akhirah, why would a person want to go there? So this person will hate death. Natural consequence. Their cares and their concerns and their efforts are for this world. And so naturally, they will not want to leave this world. They don't want to die. They don't want to face death. They don't want to leave, because there is nothing waiting for them. If you're not preparing for akhirah, why would you want to go there? This is due to the incorrect iman, or weak iman. This is a person who is not preparing for akhirah, a person who doesn't want to go to akhirah, who's unprepared for akhirah, who's destroying the akhirah. Then this is due to incorrect iman, or weak faith. This is due to love of this world. This is why the main cause of this is the person is ignoring their akhirah, destroying the akhirah because of the love of this world. All of their efforts, all of their concerns are for this world. And there's no preparation being made for the akhirah. So the love of this world, the love of dunya, is a cause of weak iman, of weak faith. When we love this world, when we become attached to this world, then we do not want to go to akhirah. And the love of